My name is Sherry Spadano. I have a daughter named Maya. She is 3.5 years old, and she was diagnosed with leukemia back on December 26th, 2011. Maya was experiencing frequent fevers, fatigue, weakness, and she was wanting to be held constantly, and had, after several visits to the pediatrician, we felt that Maya was not getting better, and although the pediatrician was reassuring us that Maya had a very tough virus, this went on for several weeks in the fall of 2010, and Maya became very pale. She went from being a very vibrant little girl, playing, full of energy, your typical 2.5-year-old, to being unable to walk, not engaging in any kind of play with her sister or her cousins. And upon Christmas, when Maya was not excited or did not engage in any kind of Christmas activities, didn't open presents, we knew that something was seriously wrong. The next morning, December 26th, 2010, I decided to take Maya to the emergency room for some blood work, just wondering, wanting some answers as to what was going on with my child. And that was the day that our lives changed forever. Our world turned upside down, and Maya was diagnosed with leukemia. She remained in the hospital for 32 days, and within 2 days she was she went into surgery and had a port put into her chest. She had a bone marrow biopsy and started receiving high-dose chemotherapy for 32 days inpatient. We have a 7-year-old little girl named Juliana, and it just completely turned our family and our world upside down. Juliana had to be shuffled from family and friends, and my husband and I took turns going home and taking care of Juliana while one of us stayed at the hospital with Maya. That went on for 32 days, and Maya was then able to come home. She stayed home for about 5 days and then had to go back for another 6 for another high-dose chemotherapy treatment. And then finally, in February, I think it was February 6th of 2011, Maya came home to stay. And she then went to clinic at the Tomorrow Fund Clinic at Hasbro Children's Hospital twice a week for chemotherapy, and every 9 weeks she would have a lumbar puncture, where she would receive chemo in her spine. She went from being a full of energy little girl, sweet and happy and vibrant, to being, again, very weak and sick. And we watched as her beautiful brown hair fell out. She became almost unrecognizable with all the chemo treatments and the steroids. And she was so weak. She was losing muscle tone. She was having trouble climbing up and down the stairs. She needed to be carried almost everywhere. And because her counts were very low at all times, she remained in the house most of the time. If she got sick with the fever, she would have to go into the hospital and be hospitalized until her counts came up to a level where she could be able to fight off any kind of germs. So Maya's world came to an abrupt halt, and she was no longer able to play with friends, to do the typical things a 2.5-year-old could do: go to the zoo, go to children's museums, have play dates, run and play outside, and happy summer days on the beach. She watched the world happen outside of the window of her home. She is just my hero. She's an amazing little girl, and we are so blessed with all that the Tomorrow Fund Clinic has done for us. with the support of our family and friends and the support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Without them, Maya would not be here today.